100% concentrated power of will. 5% pleasure, 50% pain. 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryan, he's sick and he's spitting fire. And Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a the type women wanna be within rappers. Hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth that doesn't stand for an acronym? No, he's the
who continues to produce at the Olympic level. It was that dunk on the back cut and the pass from Anthony Davis that Kevin Durant became the all-time leading U.S. basketball scorer.
You got the game ball? Yeah. What happened here tonight?
Oh, record, you know what I mean? He scored a lot of points. It's because I've been here a long time.
Excellent audio quality there. That was Kevin Durant saying, I'm the all-time leading scorer because I've been playing a long time. All right, welcome to The Zone. I love just repeating what they say so you can actually hear it. Yeah. Joe Kleine in studio for the first time, long time. DJ Williams here, like usual. Yeah. Christian Weaver, let me turn your mic on. You're on 3, not 4. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
We have a ton of Olympic stuff to get to. Tons and tons and tons and tons.
A lot going on.
Lots of angles, lots of stories, lots of sound bites, lots of stuff. People doing good, people doing bad, and everything in between. The women are playing today in basketball. The soccer team is playing for gold, the women's soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
The women's beach volleyball team and the other team, they have a couple of them. They both got bounced. But the court team, this I don't know what you call that. Indoor?
Yeah.
Sixes?
Volleyball.
Whatever. Regular volleyball?
Yeah.
I guess it's volleyball and beach volleyball.
Yeah.
The volleyball team is still moving on, so that's good. Anyway, got a ton of Razorback talk. Wide receivers in focus today.
Okay.
So we hear from Coach Fouch about that. And, Tesla's a guy we have not talked about a lot. We talked about Armstrong and Broden and some of these other guys. We have not talked a lot about Tesla since the end of the season. He's an intriguing prospect for sure. What do you see for him this year? What's his fit?
He'll just be a situational, sure hands. I kind of remember. You remember Lucas Miller back in the day?
Very well.
Kind of that type. Dependable. He's going to know what to do. I think it showed last year. He was the guy that people were. The way we're talking about Broden right now is how people were talking about Tesla back then.
Yeah.
And they said in practice he's always open, he's unstoppable. And then I think it showed once. I said this last week that it showed maybe the lack of talent we had on the defensive side of the ball on our own team because he struggled getting separation against SEC caliber defensive backs, and I would say those more nickel dime linebackers. And so that being said, people say I say that a lot. Sorry about that. On another note, with the emergence of Isaiah Satania in these two big options on the outside, I think that'll open him up to kind of being that mid-range guy. I don't see many deep balls or deep threats to him. That's going to be more of a Broden Armstrong thing. But I think him and Tesla, they're going to be just working the mid-range the whole time.
Yeah, all good buzz on Isaiah Satania. You'll hear from him in a second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll hear from him in a sec. Here's Ronnie Fouch talking about the wide receivers as a group.
I noticed a big difference with the guys' knowledge of the game and the confidence and the alignments and the techniques that we need on each play within Petrino's concept and what Coach Pittman wants us to do with our splits and our alignments, and really seeing the knowledge of the offense growing with these guys and the leaders and the older guys really pushing each other to learn the playbook. They're studying together, and it's really shown up in the start of camp of how advanced they are in the offense. So we don't have to revisit a bunch of old things as we're more so moving on to different installs now, and then we're going to taper back and review everything and just get good at what we're good at.
All right, I like that. Isaiah Satania about Taylon Green.
It's always hard at first whenever I have a new quarterback, just for him to get my speed right and stuff. But, Taylon has a really big arm, so, it wasn't a problem for him.
Okay. I like that. He's not overthrowing me. Or he's not underthrowing me, I guess.
It's hard to overthrow Isaiah Satania. He's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway, good returns, and also Coach Fouch has been with Coach Petrino, or as he calls him, Petrino.
Yeah,
a couple different stops. So they've been together quite a while. So he understands what Coach wants, his expectations, and obviously, this, the way this is my perception.
Yeah.
The way that routes are run, there's a very serious precision to all this.
There really is. And I was watching a clip, and this is where chemistry comes into play. And so I'd be shocked if it happens that quick. But I was watching him kind of talking to Taylor Green, and he was talking about what was so impressive about Mallet. It wasn't just understanding where the ball's supposed to go. It's almost when as well. Because how many times did we see in the past, it could be KJ or other quarterbacks, where you have a guy wide open down the field and the ball's just a little bit underthrown or maybe a little bit behind him. Instead of catching him in full stride, it turns, a 45-yard gain, which could have been a touchdown if you throw it to him in stride. So he's really trying to put an emphasis, and I think that's what Isaiah was kind of alluding to, of understanding my speed. Because if you have guys like that, and it's not just on the deep balls, it could be on a crossing route. If you throw it behind them, it's going to slow them down.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, if they get to knowing each other and trusting each other, it should be now where Isaiah Satania, this is the ultimate goal. If he's on a crossing route, that is, and let's just say Taylor Green throws it behind him, he needs to hopefully get to a point where he says, oh, he's throwing it behind me for a reason. Because he knows if I catch this in stride, I'm going to get my head knocked off.
Right.
And so if they get on the same page, I mean, that's dangerous. Because then, he knows, okay, now I need to make one miss, and I'm not just full speed. Now, that's next level chemistry, and it takes time to develop that. But I guess we'll see how far they come.
You're going to see it in person here soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm going to watch practice Friday and Saturday now.
Okay.
Tomorrow's scrimmage is closed to everybody, so
Even former players?
even former players.
I bet there'd be some former players there that aren't in the media.
Yeah.
Big Joe, let's focus on basketball for a minute. There were some crazy claims made, or at least maybe they're not that crazy. I don't know. Draymond Green this week said that he felt like their Olympic team, he said that this year Olympic team, would beat the 92 Dream Team in 5 out of 7 games. And there has been a lot of conversation about that. Admittedly, I think we can all agree the international competition has certainly gotten better.
Oh, absolutely.
PJ Carlesimo weighed in and said it would be difficult to compare because of that factor, the competition level.
PJ, you know how this works. Ever since 1992, whenever there's an Olympic team put together, everyone compares it to the 92 team. The latest guy to do that was Draymond Green, who's got a podcast, and he said that this team is better. I know you've probably answered this question plenty of times. How would you compare this team, which, to be fair, hasn't won anything yet, to the team where you were an assistant coach on, the world-famous Dream Team?
I wouldn't compare them. I just think the thing that makes it most difficult to compare, it was such a different time in terms of the opposition. The opposition today is so much better. There was a fear factor, if you will. People forget there were a lot of things in place in 92 that make it difficult to compare. It was the first time the NBA players played coming off a loss in 88 in Seoul. You had some guys, and people, I think, don't attach the significance to this that they should. You had players, Michael played in 84, Chris Mullin played in 84, Patrick played in 84. I think it was just the 3 of them. David played in 88. The other 8 guys, putting Christian to the side, because Christian was, in the old day would have eventually been an Olympian anyhow with the old format. But you had 7 other players who never thought they'd get a chance to play in the Olympics. And it was a huge thing for these players. It was reported, whether it was accurate or not, that I think Stock and Charles Barkley, who are actually with now up in Boston at Sean McDonough's charity golf event, those guys were among, if not the last cuts, when they tried out, when they were still collegians. And these guys were really excited to be playing for the United States. They thought they'd never get a chance to be Olympians. So it was a really big deal that I think a lot lot of people didn't see.
Obviously, Charles, if he could have stayed on Coach Knight's good side, would have already had a gold medal. He didn't want to be an Olympian then?
Yeah, no, he was interested in getting his draft stock up, and once he went to the trials and he got his draft stock up, he pretty much checked out.
Yeah. So what do you think about, is it silly to compare, or is there an argument you think to be made that this 24 team could win more than half of their games against the Dream Team?
Well, no, I mean, this team is very talented. Again, it goes back to the whole way the game is played is different now. So it's you're really comparing apples and oranges. When those teams were put together, the league and basketball in general was played inside out. You wanted big guys, you wanted post-up guys, you wanted to bang it inside, you wanted to dominate the paint, whereas now it's outside in. It's the three ball dominant, the pick and roll. There's not a lot of post-up play. So, I mean, they're both very talented. I mean, I'm old school, man.
Yeah.
I think old school players are tougher. I think they're meaner. I think they're nastier, and I think they'd freaking drive the ball right down their throat and score anytime they wanted.
I'm glad you said that. That leads me right into my next soundbite. Rick Mahorn making a case now that his old Pistons teams could have possibly taken the top prize at the Olympics. Now, Christian and I had a debate. The question is, are we talking in lieu of this current American team, or if you were representing America? Because those are different arguments. Do you think you can beat this current Olympic team, or do you think you could beat everybody else in the Olympics outside of the Americans?
Yeah, they don't know everybody's game. And I'll ask you, because, it's interesting that you said that in regards to the style of play that you, with the bad boys play. I'll ask you, with the bad boys, do you guys think you could win a gold medal in this year's Olympics?
You're going to ask somebody to be looking at the games and say, hell yeah. I ain't going to say no.
Well, I mean, is it convincing?
I'm not going to say no, but I think the way that we played.
No. Give me a yes or no. You going to stand on it,
Why are you?
Because you starting to flip-flop.
Did I flip-flop?
And then,
was I explaining how and why we would win one?
Well, why would you win?
No. How and why? Can I do that?
Why? Absolutely.
The fact that we played a physical style and the fact that we did have a style where we can run up and down the court. Those are the things that you have to look at and have a team that can start off the game being very physical and set the tone. And then we have finishers and with our guard play, with our forwards play and our center play. We all were able to adapt to play whatever style anybody gave us. And I think that I know we would have won.
I'll work on the assumption that he means in lieu of the American team.
Let me say one other thing on the 92 team.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a joke that Isaiah Thomas was not on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you put Isaiah Thomas on the dream team, to me that...
Who would you take off?
Christian Leitner.
Leitner, yeah.
But if they were going to have a college player, is there a pro you would have taken?
And that should have been Shaq.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, I mean, but again... I see Rick's point.
Do you think your Bulls team that won the title could have won the Olympic gold?
Any team with Michael Jordan on it would have a really good shot.
I think you can make the argument that in lieu of Team America, instead of having to face Team America, that a lot of NBA champions could win the Olympics.
Especially, I mean, I think there's a great. Having a team, an established team that has roles and has played together and has talent, Dumars and
you're comfortable with the sets you guys run, everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're doing. You're running sets. You got out of bounds plays. You've been together for years. That's huge.
I mean, that is huge. The Celtics this year.
Yeah,
you would easily win the. If Porzingis plays with the Celtics and not his whatever, but besides that, you got 4 other Olympians on the team.
Yeah,
even though Jaylen Brown's not playing in it, I think it'd be hands down.
I mean, American basketball. I mean, they're closing the gap, but if they play the way they're supposed to play, they should roll.
Like we saw the other day.
Yeah, I mean, if they guard, the whole thing to me is when they really lock in defensively, they can absolutely shut people off. When they get in trouble is when they start going up and down and playing cute and playing finesse, and they don't. But when they get locked in defensively, that's where I feel that our athleticism, our size, athleticism and strength on the defensive end is far, far superior than anybody else. Offensively, you can go Jokic, and these guys can shoot and they can pass and they can do things skill-wise, but on the defensive end, when they're locked in, it's not comparable as to what they can do defensively and what other teams in the Olympics can do.
So we were talking about the 24 team this year compared to 92, and we were talking about this yesterday. I don't even feel like the 24 team is as good as what year is that, Christian?
08, 12.
08 with LeBron, D Wade, Carmelo,
yeah,
Kobe.
all those guys were on the 12 team too.
All those dudes were. I mean, that was I would say way more impressive team than the team this year.
Yeah, I would too. They were all younger. They were in their prime.
And still 7-game series. You taking Dream Team or who knows?
Well, again, I mean,
it's hard to say.
Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone.
Who were the bigs for that team? Was
Charles Barkley.
No, for the LeBron, D Wade, Kobe.
Good question. I can't remember.
I just only remember kind of the
I think
power
Dwight
forward
Howard
guards.
was on that team.
Yeah.
Carlos Boozer was on that team.
Yeah.
Strangely.
Yeah, with 92 bigs for sure. I'll take them.
Yeah, I mean, and
not
again,
even close.
These are all pro guys, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's semantics. I mean, they're all great. I mean, they're all great teams, and it's like, do you like driving a Jaguar or a Mercedes or a BMW? I mean, they're
I'm a Chevy man, Joe. Thanks for asking.
So I mean, I'm a truck guy. So I mean, but again, they're all great, unbelievable. So I mean, you can make arguments and have really good arguments for whatever team you pick because they're all very talented. But I mean, the old school guys are just meaner, nastier, tougher. It was played differently. I mean, it was, and then again, you go back to the whole thing of styles. The style now is totally different.
Yeah.
So it's a hard argument, but again, I'll take.
I'd like to see Larry.
I'll take MJ.
Larry, and who would be the other shooters that if in today's game? If you took that team, the 92 team, who else would be?
Yeah, Chris Mullen.
Oh, yeah.
Mullen and Larry.
Larry.
He was getting up there, though.
Yeah. Larry was hurt. So, I mean.
You tell me he can't stroke it today?
Anymore.
Hey, he was having to lay on the floor to stretch his back out.
He was.
A shell of his former self.
He was pretty much a ceremonial
pick. Nothing Nate Miller Lights couldn't fix, Joe.
Yeah, well, I've seen that.
I bet he could drink a case and still shoot it better than most people.
Yep. I've seen that too.
All right, we're going to take a break. We got a bunch more to get to from the Olympics. We'll talk more about the Razorback wide receiver group as well and whatever else you want to get into. You can join us on the D3 Auto Sales text line, True Service Community, Federal Credit Union, Live Fan Feedback. Big Joe Kleine, we've got until 11. And we've got a couple of off-the-wall things, too, from the Olympics I wanted to get to as well. So plenty of fun ahead, DJ.
I like it.
Yesterday was fun.
Yesterday was great.
Did you see the Touchdown Club lineup, Joe?
I'm always, when he puts it out there, like last year I saw it or the year before, I'm like, he's not topping this one.
And then he does it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
It'll be a fun season. I want to hit a quick break here and talk about what's going on over at UAMS for those of you who are getting up there. No offense, Joe. We were just talking about Larry's bad back. They could definitely straighten him out, quite literally, over at UAMS. Dr. Lowry Barnes and his team, the best in the business. And if you're looking to get out of your painful state, my friends, get yourselves over to UAMS. There's no need to live with hip or knee pain or any other kind of pain. I've known Dr. Barnes for a long time, and as most of you probably know by now, he is, I don't know about internationally, but certainly across the country, appreciated as one of the all-time greats. He's got a great staff with him and some other great doctors, Dr. Stambo, Dr. Stronach, the top surgeons for knee and hip replacements. People like Terry Bradshaw, Sidney Moncrief have trusted their joints to these guys to make sure that they come out of there feeling good and getting back to their old selves. And the folks at UAMS Health, tops for joint replacements. Along with Advanced Practice Partners, they offer the most comprehensive team-based approach to joint replacement in the whole state of Arkansas, and as good as you're going to find in the nation. Trust the best surgeons at the best hospital for joint replacement, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. And again, no need to live with pain, folks. Stop. 501-686-TOSH. It's 501-686-8674. Call and get your appointment lined up today.
It's your Razor Hog update as Out of Bounds keeps you updated from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, your Can-Am Super Headquarters. BradfordMarine.com.
This is SportsCenter.
The quarterfinals in Olympics men's basketball are out of the way, and the U.S. is cruising into the semifinals. They hammered Brazil yesterday, 122-87. It was Devin Booker who led the way. He had 18 points and 3 assists to go with 3 rebounds. LeBron James had 12 points, 9 assists, and 3 steals. The U.S. shot just under 58%. They were 48% from 3, 15 for 31, and they were 17 of 19 from the free throw stripe. Up next for the U.S. is Serbia, who they defeated in group stage play. Serbia beat Australia 95-90 in OT to win their way into the semifinals. And then also, it'll be Germany taking on France after Germany took out Greece and France.
Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Car wreck? Call Rainwater Holt in Sexton.
888-8888.
8 for a fast response. 8 for results. 8 for Arkansas.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Welcome back in the zone. If you love the sound of our voices, you should see our faces. Check our live stream out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, back to the show.
Where did you come from, baby? And ooh, won't you take me there? Got away, won't you, baby?
I know you met up with Team USA, Sarah and Kelly, and wow, how about this? You got Sarah on the front. What?
I gotta have them both, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm the coach. This is Big Snoop Dogg. I represent USA all day. I had a chance to meet these ladies and fell in love with them. I love their whole strategic approach as far as how they keep teamwork and keep family and sisterhood. That's so important to me, and I just love supporting them.
Any advice for them today?
Do what y'all do, baby. Bring home the gold. I'll be at home waiting on y'all.
Finally, Snoop, this venue, one of the hottest tickets in town, 14,000 seats under the Eiffel Tower. What do you think?
This is an exceptional venue, great view. I mean, Paris really went overboard with putting this together. This is a spectacle. As far as having these events at these monumental places, bringing the people out from all over the world, this is beautiful. Beach volleyball in front of the Eiffel Tower. Who would have thought?
I love Snoop, and I love that he's supporting, but the U.S. team let him down, T-shirt or not. Switzerland ousted the American team that remained on the women's side. There's one men's team left, but we may get shut out in beach volleyball. It'd be the first time, I think, since they started doing it back in '96.
Did the women fire their coach?